Hi guys, welcome back to MSE. I'm Jade and tonight we're going to be doing this live for all of you out there who are in the process of going back to school. So I'm going to start off by saying hello everyone, thank you for joining us again. And I'm interested to know, have you started today or are you starting school again tomorrow? You might be going to college, you might be going to sixth form. Yeah, let me know what your plans for this week. We do have some exciting videos coming up for you guys this evening, and as well as that we will be doing games from 8:10, so stay with us through until 8:10 and we can have some fun with the games. So Jenny said that you went back today. Let me know how today was for you, and let me know what year you are in. So if you're not going to college or sixth form, what kind of things have you got in store for the year ahead? So we'll be hearing from some of our reaction team about the sort of things they've been getting up to in the lead up to school. I think we'll be finding out about their night before, as well as we have some very exciting news about Olivia actually. So Olivia Greenhalgh is going to be staying with us through the autumn. We're going to be able to follow her journey as she begins her time at her performance college, which will be very exciting. And as well as that, Olivia will be doing a live takeover tomorrow night. So yeah, make sure you tune in for that as well. Here we go. So for the first 20 minutes then, I'm just going to be chatting to you guys, seeing what you're up to, how you're feeling, and just, yeah, bit of a catch up really. Mitch, I started college yesterday. I'm doing health and social and it's good so far. So that is really cool. I know a few people who did health and social. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. That is brilliant. I'm not entirely sure what it entails, what you do in health and social. It'd be good to know. Ella, I had an enrolment day at school for year 12 and my first full day is tomorrow. Okay, so you've been getting ready and seeing what all the plans are then, and then tomorrow will be the big day where you get to go back into year 12. So whether that's at a new place, yeah, enrolment day, so that's very exciting. Gemma, you're going into year 10, so that's kind of the start of GCSEs, unless perhaps you have done some before, some prep for that in year 9, who knows. But year 10, it's like it's not the biggest year, obviously, you know, year 11 is going to be a huge year for you, but year 10 is really where you start setting the foundations for the GCSEs and really getting into it. That's where you do the most learning for GCSEs as well, actually. So year 10 still is quite a big year, and it's a good one to make sure that you focus in. Let's have a look. WWE 18 UK, I'm in year 11, so the big year for you. That is very exciting. And Zilok 4288 as well, first day of year 11 was quite eventful. Let me know what you mean by that. Perhaps there was just some drama going down, I don't know, I want to know what happened now. Same with Shooting Star, year 11, so hopefully actually you guys were able to watch sort of the GCSE season, the exam season, results season, and that hopefully was helpful for you guys. If not, obviously all those videos are up on our channel, as well as many of the videos you're going to be seeing tonight. They will be up on our channel as well. So Ella, you're asking which year in sixth form is the calmest. I would definitely say year 12, only because you don't have the looming fear of the exams at the end of the year. However, I think year 13, it slows down. I think exams are huge, but you're also saying goodbye to a lot of things are ending, and then you gradually are thinking about the future. And I actually, for me, found it quite I don't know, I don't want to say that my year 13 was calm, it just wasn't really. Yeah, it's a nerve-wracking year overall, but year 12 I would say is the most calm year. Just make sure that you do focus though. Anna, sixth form tomorrow, nerves for year 13. You'll be absolutely fine, I'm sure, and there's lots and lots of people going through it with you, and I'm sure many people who are willing to support you and help you in case you do need help. Emily, can't wait for the coffee available in the canteen. See, I'm not a coffee person, but I know a lot of people. There was a few people actually who drank a lot of coffee in their time at sixth form, and they ended up relying on it. I'm kind of glad I wasn't one of those people, because I know that if I was hooked on coffee, I really would be hooked on coffee. I'd have to have it. Holly, I love the fact that I don't wear uniform anymore. I know, it's weird, isn't it? Because for sixth form, I had uniform as well. So even though I had a different uniform, I still had to wear that every day. And now that I'm out of there, it's weird thinking actually I won't have a uniform. So it's probably the same feeling for you. I think it takes off the stress of what you have to wear each day. Like mufti day can be a bit stressful sometimes. Yeah, but you get a lot more freedom, so that'd be good. Coco had a trip with my sixth form today. Was that like a legitimate just trip out? Was it like team building maybe? Hang on, maybe you've answered the question, no, Dan. Not yet. So let us know where that was at. Where did you go? Okay. Alicia, I start school on the 5th. I haven't done any revision or any of my summer homework. I'm going into year 11. Cry. Well, I mean, revision, it's not hugely important over the summer. It's good to give yourself a break. I would suggest if you've been given summer homework, just to at least try and get as much of that done as possible. Hopefully it's not all due in for the 5th. Like maybe you could use the weekend as well, unless you're getting bombarded by like more homework when you begin. Year 11, big year again. Hopefully our videos and MSc just through the whole of the GCSE exam period and results period were helpful. Zilok, I also missed my stop on the bus home as year 7s were crowded by the door and wouldn't move. So you missed your stop on the bus. That's so annoying. I know. We've got all sorts happening on our first days of schools. Shooting star. How can I not be stressed this year? So as you said, you're going into year 11. Can be a stressful year, as we've seen. However, I think there are many coping mechanisms, and just the idea that actually if you do need help, if you need someone to speak to, there will always be someone there, whether it be your friends or the teachers or your family. Like everyone who is at your school will understand what it's like to go through GCSEs, and year 11, the whole dynamic of your year definitely changes. I know it did for me. And people will support each other a lot more, but the tensions will be heightened. So if everyone around you is stressed as well, then you may end up feeling stressed. But just make sure you take time out of your week and use it for yourself, just watching Netflix, or if you have a hobby that you enjoy doing, make sure you make time for that, and I'm sure you will be fine. We've just had in the comments as well from MSc, in case you did miss it, Olivia is going to be continuing her role here at MSc just through September, as she's moving on with her life in London, which is going to be really exciting to watch and just follow with her, because we've heard a lot about it over the summer. And so she will also be live tomorrow night on MSc. So that is something that you don't want to miss, because I'm just excited to see her journey. And Performance College is it's a whole nother level from sixth form altogether. So I'm interested to see what it's like. Tomorrow I have computer science, food and English. That's from WWE 18. Interesting. I don't know what food. Is that like food tech, I'm guessing, maybe? Food and nutrition, or just food and English. I mean, food and English sounds brilliant. I'd take that subject right away. So let me know if you are moving on into a new sixth form today, tomorrow, or maybe even yesterday. Has there been any nervousness? I would put it like that. Like, is it more excitement, or has there been anything new that's kind of shocked you a little bit, or something that you weren't expecting maybe? Zilok, I have PE first thing on a Monday, of course, so you'll be getting your new timetables. Yeah, PE first thing on a Monday. That could be bad in some ways, but also a good way to start the week, because I think the worst way to start a Monday would be just with a really long, a really long chemistry lesson, or just something that's really going to be difficult in the morning to get your brain started. Whereas I think PE would just set you up for the week. I don't know. I was never good at PE either. I was awful. So terrible. But at least it meant that you could just maybe get outside for a bit, for an hour. I don't know. I do miss having that because we didn't even have PE in sixth form, so yeah. Sid, you're starting year 10 tomorrow, new school, so very excited. That's interesting. So you've moved school, you're going into year 10, getting ready for those GCSEs then. A big couple of years ahead, I guess. Yeah. Let me know how you're feeling about that. You said you're very excited. I like that. It's good to be positive. Start with a positive mentality. I know it can be nerve-wracking starting a new school, but the best way to go about it is just to be positive and think, yeah, I'm going to find people I can get along with and hang around, even if it's just for the first week. If you find other friends after that, that's fine. But it's always good to have that one person that you can just message and be like, what's the homework for tomorrow? Just someone to put your mind at ease. Holly, you have Mondays off. No way. Does that mean you get a 3-day weekend? Because that honestly sounds amazing. I mean, I guess that's probably with the idea that you're going to be working still, just maybe independently. But I can guarantee that if I was given a Monday off, that would not be used for working at all. No, it wouldn't have happened. Minimal, you've just been watching What I Wish I Knew Before Year 12 videos. That's really funny because actually that's what everyone does. Sometimes you might feel like watching those videos, you're like, am I just making myself more nervous by watching all these videos that people have made? But at the same time, I think it's good to see the experiences of other people and know that actually they've come out of it and they're fine, so you'll be fine too. I've been doing that a lot with kind of university videos as well, because I've kind of finished with the A-levels now completely. But it's always good to do that, especially for going into sixth form if you're moving school. And of course, there are plenty of helpful videos on MSc as well. You can scroll through, just have a look. If there's anything that takes your fancy, then I'm sure there'll be something helpful in there. We're going to see a few videos actually a little bit later on, probably in just over 5 minutes. We have some subject videos as well to help you guys, because it's a difficult thing having to choose subjects, and we have teachers who have spoken to us, which is really helpful, about what those subjects are like to be taken. So you'll see that in a bit. First, if any of you have any questions, actually, for those of you going into whether it be year 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever it is, pop them in the comments. I've been through it all, so I can answer them the best way that I can, and I'm sure there'll be other people in the comments who could probably give you their advice as well. So if you have literally, it could be the smallest question, because the first week, a lot of the questions that you have in the first week are sometimes just really, really small, what do I do at lunchtimes, or how do I use my study periods, my free periods, I don't know. Anna, we have games coming up at 8 to 10, so if you want to stick around until 10 past 8, we'll have the games then, and before that we've got plenty of videos to show you as well, to mix up a bit. Coco, what do you think of EPQs, and if you did one, then what was your experience with it? So that's a really good question actually. EPQs are amazing things to do, and so basically EPQ is Extended Project Qualification, for those of you who might not know what EPQ stands for. That's what it stands for. And essentially, you get given the freedom to write a 5,000 word essay on any topic you want in the world, literally any topic. And yeah, you just have to do a lot of research and analysis, and it just tests your skills at taking that research and information and putting it in a persuasive essay, and it doesn't necessarily have to be persuasive, but that's the best way to do it. If you want tips on how to do EPQs, we did actually have a video, which I believe came out this afternoon. Yeah, our EPQ advice video, yeah, it came out this afternoon. And we have a link in the comments there. It's well worth a watch. It was helpful even for me because I'd been through it. My experience with it was I loved doing it once I'd found the right topic. But I came out with a grade less than what I would have hoped for, just because I didn't know exactly how to do the analysis and the referencing at the end. You learn how to cite your sources. But yeah, it will all be explained in that video, and it's a really in-depth video, definitely worth a watch. And EPQs are 100% worth doing, especially if you're doing 3 A-levels, now that it's gone linear. If you want to just have another qualification under your belt, then EPQ is the way to go. Emily, Jade, when do you start uni and how are you feeling moving to somewhere which is much bigger than home? Obviously, yes, so you live in Jersey as well. It's a bit different for us going over the water. But I think it's like the same concept as people who are moving into sixth form as well. It's just a new environment and there's going to be new people, and that's probably what I'm most excited for. Just the whole living element, I think, is the one thing that I'm going to struggle with. But yeah, if anyone else out there is moving to a new college or a new school, obviously I've seen a couple comments down here as well, just really make the most of the opportunity you've got to find new people and kind of reinvent yourself, even if you want to, if you just want to try new things, try new hobbies, maybe there's new clubs available at where you're going, just do them and get yourself stuck in, because there's nothing worse than going to a new school and just feeling, you may feel isolated, but if you don't do anything about it, then that's when you really will become isolated. And so I would just suggest getting yourself out there and trying everything that you can. Emily, okay, so you did your GCSEs and that's brilliant. Well done for those. You have some amazing grades as well, as I can see in the comments. So well done. And you said that you just need to resit maths at college. So actually, that's a good point. Are any of you out there who are going to college just doing your maths again, English again? Because it's a thing that you can do. It's not uncommon, actually. A lot of people, they feel like when they're having to do resits, they're the only people who have to do it. They feel like they've failed. That's what my friends have said anyway. That's just their feelings. But honestly, it's the complete opposite, because so many people do it and colleges don't mind at all. If anything, doing resits really shows your perseverance and dedication to that grade and that subject. And so it just shows that you're able to really keep going to reach the goal that you want to get to. So colleges like it and jobs like it as well. It's honestly not the end of the world. Okay, so just a couple minutes now and we'll get into a video which will be interesting for you guys to see. It'll be all about year 12. I've seen quite a few of you guys who are going into year 12. Again, games will be at 8:10, and I also do want to mention, for those of you who may have joined in the last few minutes, Olivia is going to be staying with us through her time beginning in London at her performance college, which is amazing. I'm really interested to see how she gets on. We're going to be following her journey. And as well as that, she's going to be going live tomorrow night. She'll be doing a live takeover on MSE, which is brilliant, so tune in for that, definitely. Paige, I'm doing hair and media makeup and I also have to resit maths. Again, see, it's like not uncommon at all. Loads of people resit their GCSEs. And you're doing hair and media makeup, which sounds amazing. Like that's, so media makeup, I'm guessing, I don't really know. Obviously it's makeup for TV or film. It could be special effects. I don't know if you do that as well. Yeah, let me know. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, so induction day for most people, because Sid, you've asked what an induction day or workshop is like. Most of the time, what happens in induction days is you might do some team building with the new people that you've met. You'll get like put into little teams, you have to learn each other's names, things like that. And then you'll just do fun activities, maybe get to know the place that you're at and just know what's in store for the year ahead. There'll be a lot of information given to you, and it might feel like a lot. It'll be probably overwhelming at the time. But pretty much an induction day is just to make you feel a little bit better about what's going to be happening. And Emily, you're starting college tomorrow. And Caitlin, you say you hate sixth form already and only started today. I will speak a little bit more about like sixth form and things like that, and how to get through the first 2 weeks of it. But I think hopefully we have a video lined up for you guys since it is 8:20. This one's just going to be a little insight into the night before going back to school, as well as some help for you guys who are choosing your subjects for sixth form for year 12. So here is the video.
I've already got quite a few goals which are completely reachable.
I think I want to be more like social with people.
To actually study more outside of school.
It's more organised, have homework done at the right time.
Do my best in my GCSEs.
I'm going to be meeting new people. I intend to take advantage of that.
Just getting on with everything, writing extra notes.
Textiles is the only lesson I have on the first day back.
I'm kind of scared.
I am very prepared.
This is my alarm clock.
It's really big. It fits everything I need in there.
I don't think I'm going to take a 5 because certainly it's packed.
This takes a while. 6:15, which will wake me up really nicely. It's a really annoying beeping sound. That'd be fun.
Just make sure that you actually have done the work in the summer. If you, as I said before, make sure that summer research is done. If you've done that, you'll actually start off on a really good note. It'll be positive.
I've marked an awful lot of exam papers this summer. Many of them have been very good. Some candidates, they write pages of good material, but we cannot as examiners give them credit because they don't answer the question.
If you've done an assignment or if you've done a test or an exam, I would always encourage my students to go back, look at it again, redo an essay.
I feel like I'm promoting a lot for Netflix, but anyway, Netflix, they've got some really good things. I've actually got a list of Netflix episodes, shows and movies, but that are to do sociology.
Although A-level is new, a lot of the concepts that you will be looking at are building on what you did at GCSE, and a lot of the skills that you're going to need are those which you needed at the top end of GCSE.
Yeah, we'll be checking to see is the course suitable for you, and then some pupils will fly that, a lot of pupils will fly and pass those early tests. It's a decision time for those pupils who struggle, and it's a decision time between them and the teachers.
I would definitely say that you need to have a strong foundation of the things that you've seen at GCSE level, so amount of substance, moles calculations, atomic structure. Make sure that there's something called the transition guide from GCSE to A-level, and it's a really useful document which you can find easily on Google.
They'll be asked to read a play a week, just one, and they get 7 days to do that. And I really like the idea that students keep a list of plays that they read once a week, once every 2 weeks, so they're really widening their knowledge. So they will be expected to read a play, they will expect it to be doing those short written activities.
I had photography, I had some digital illustration, I had sculpture, clay and so on, painting, drawing, like there was such a variety. As long as you're ticking the boxes of trying out different materials and so on, again depending on what you're technically doing, because there's a difference between doing art and design and art, craft and design.
Right at the beginning, the very first thing that we do is we take a look at some of the basic laws that govern economics. So there's this wonderful thing called the law of demand, and we almost within the first couple of weeks describe a really important graph that shows how demand by people is met by the supply of industry.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. For those of you who may have just joined us within the last few minutes, tonight is just all about going back to school. It's the first week for most of us, and so it's just us discussing how we're feeling and what's going on in the next few days. As well as that, we're going to have games at 8:10, and we're going to have a couple more videos, and we're going to be joined by Holly actually as well. So we have a special guest, and we'll be speaking to her about how she's feeling this week as well, which is great. So I'm just basically having a look at the comments, seeing what you guys are saying. Let's have a look. Ellie, you said it was your first day of year 11 today. Yeah, the big year of GCSEs. Get your head down, keep on working. That would be my piece of advice. Get organised early. I think a good bit of advice is to just have folders, obviously, have a folder for each subject, and try and keep them as organised as possible. If you have any bits of paper that you're not going to need in that folder that you've used in a lesson and it's just a bit of a scrap paper or something that doesn't have information that you really need on it, then get rid of it. Like, I think if the worst comes to worst and you've got rid of a bit of paper that you did need that had good information on, then I'm sure one of your friends will have that bit of paper still, and you can just kindly ask them if they can share it with you and get a copy of it made. But other than that, I think it would be much better to do that than have loads of paper strewn everywhere in different folders and to come to your exams and to not know where everything is when you're trying to revise, because revision can be stressful at the best of times, let alone if you have a lot of paper to get through, which might just not be relevant. So here we go. Shooting star, French is your favourite subject. Let me know, everyone, what you're most looking forward to in the upcoming year. What subject are you most looking forward to? That is, or maybe you're thinking of starting a club. Does your school or college or sixth form put on a club? You're going to join any of those? Ellie, what do you suggest about revision books, like how to section them? So you can get these really useful books from places like Paper Chase or whatever that are 10 subject notebooks. And let me tell you this, they're not as helpful as you think they're going to be. So you might buy it and it will be evenly spread into those sections, which never happens, because for something like biology, you're going to have loads of diagrams that you might want to draw, plus loads of writing. And then for something like history, you might literally just need to put down some dates and writing, and you'll end up running out of space in one subject and having loads of space in another subject and feeling like you're less organised than you were before. So I would say just buy yourself A4 lined paper that's already hole punched, get a big binder folder for each subject, and for revision books and things like that. If you can get revision guides and you think they're going to be helpful, then they're worth getting. If maybe you can get your hands on a second-hand copy, that would be even better. I personally didn't use a single revision guide for GCSE, only because I found my notes were quite thorough and the teachers had been really good at giving us the information we needed. But if you don't feel that way, then a revision guide is the way to go. But don't bother buying a revision guide for every single subject you do, especially if you're doing GCSEs, and you'd end up having to buy about 10, and that would be really expensive. So just trust that your teachers have given you the right information, which I'm sure they will have done. We have a few people say, so Harvey, you said that you hate college already, so I'm guessing today was your first day. It will honestly get better. Okay, so you've said it's so boring, my hours are so long, 9:30 till 6, but the first 2 weeks is only till 4:30. So you're going to be in college until 6 o'clock in the evening. That is actually a really long day, to be honest. I think the only good thing about college is you do have free time during the day, and it will get better, Harvey. I think at the beginning it can seem boring because you're getting all the introductory things and you don't have much that you can revise. Like you will have started your subjects, and as the weeks go on, you'll have more that you know you need to do. You'll have more homework. and you'll be more used to the people around you, and you'll probably have more fun as well. I think it's just a huge slog the first couple of weeks of college or sixth form, and you feel like you've just finished your GCSEs because results day wasn't that long ago. It was a couple of weeks ago, and it's almost like you're expecting to have another summer after results day, but it just comes so quickly. Just obviously take time out of your week for yourself, but also make sure that you're using your free periods wisely as well. That's a good bit of advice there. You say, and I only get a 45-minute break for lunch. Only one break. That, to be honest, to me, that doesn't sound like much at all. You're right in thinking that that's not much, because that's a long day to only have 45 minutes. But you get a free iPad from school, though, and a locker. Because you've never had a locker before. That's interesting. But free iPad sounds like a pretty good deal. I don't know if I'd give up my lunch for that, though. Alicia, we don't have study leave, and we have to come to school every day during the Easter holidays, every single day. Is that even allowed? I don't know. I'm not sure. That's crazy. Ellie, you've said it's really annoying how expensive revision books are, and teachers expect us to get them and revise from them. See, this has turned into quite a negative rant about sixth form and college and school life, which I don't want it to become, because I'd really like to keep you guys positive. MFC are going to be taking you right through the first week of school/college, sixth form, and this isn't how it should be. But the thing with expensive revision books is that they don't have to be expensive. Honestly, you can find, a lot of the time you can find them online, or you can ask your teacher if they're able to somehow get them through the school, or you can just see if anywhere you can find a second-hand one. Maybe go on eBay. I don't know. I've never used eBay properly, but you could try there, because if you get them off Amazon, then they will be new and they'll be quite expensive. So just see what your options are, really, before diving in and getting all of them. Ella, my school finishes at 2:40. Wow. The school plans with that is to do schoolwork and then also be able to have an evening, though that never happened in year 11 as there was so much work. I actually did find that GCSEs, you feel like you have a lot more homework, because you're not able to do it during the day, you do it all in the evening, and if you do a club or if you have a class in the evening, then you feel like your whole night is just taken up by homework, especially having different subjects. You have loads of different teachers all wanting you to do homework. But with A-levels or BTECs or whatever you're doing, college or sixth form, you'll have time during your day to do things, and then at night you won't feel like you have as much to do or as much homework, which is really good. That was one of the perks of sixth form, is that I really did feel like I had a lot more time in my evening. And then it's just your choice whether you feel like you want to spend extra time revising like you would have done at GCSEs. Wow, we have Alicia saying, last year I went to America and almost stayed to go to school there, and I went to freshman 9th grade orientation days and another day. It's nothing like High School Musical, trust me. Wow, see, that's crazy. That's really interesting that you got to experience that, actually. I would have loved that, but you're saying it's not like High School Musical at all, which is interesting. I always imagined just American high school to be exactly like that, because all the movies are like that. So it's just a shame that they're not. Emily's looking forward to the food and the coffee. Yeah, the food at sixth form, because we were lucky enough to have a kitchen, so we had like a little microwave and stuff. But for a lot of people, sometimes it might be the first time to get a canteen or something like that, a cafeteria, which is exciting as well. It's like all the little perks that you get that make sixth form better, I think. You're treated more like an adult, but at the same time you have that security blanket of having all the adults around you, which is really good, and you have a really good support system as well. Even though A-levels will seem so much harder than GCSEs, you will get through it, and the teachers understand how much more difficult they can be. Musical Garcia says, I'm starting year 11 on Thursday, so good luck for that. I hope it's okay for you. You've got through year 10, so you get through year 11, I'm sure, because year 10 actually felt a lot longer for me than year 11 did, because hopefully you'll go on study leave, depending on whether your school gives it to you or not. But because of the fact that your exams end and you have this huge long summer after year 11, it doesn't feel like it's as long as year 10 is. Year 10 is really where you set all the foundations, and all the majority of your GCSEs will be taught in year 10. And since you've gotten through that, I'm absolutely certain that you'll be able to get through year 11. Let's have a look. Ella, a lot of notes to make for biology, revision of ions for chemistry, and reread scene 1 of Streetcar. So that's your homework that you've literally been given there from one day. I mean, I think, although that does sound like a lot, I think they're going to be easing you into it, for sure. Notes for biology, so that's fine. You can get that done, you can smash that. Making notes is fun anyway if you like to make it colourful. I don't know if I would use the word fun, but it's more enjoyable than trying to get yourself through loads of questions. Revision of ions for chemistry, so that's fine. Maybe make yourself some cue cards. Give yourself breaks in between, all that kind of thing. And then reread scene 1 of Streetcar. Just rereading scene 1. So you've read it before, just one scene. That's doable. That is absolutely doable. You'll be fine. Alyssa's saying that you don't get study leave. The thing is, study leave is really, really helpful, but at the same time, once you are doing exams and you're into the process, you will completely forget about all that kind of stuff. And you will just be really grateful for any free time that you could get. You'll be using your weekends for revision. I'm sure, I mean, maybe you won't be, but that's what I would suggest. At the same time, I wouldn't suggest revising for 7 hours a day during your weekends. So it's not the end of the world if you don't get study leave. You will be fine, and since you don't get study leave, your school will be supporting you. They'll know that you might feel that way about it, and they will definitely support you, and I'm sure you can go to them with any concerns about it. Kana, 24. I really don't want to go to sixth form tomorrow. Maybe it's the nerves. Maybe it's just the fact that you're going to have to be getting up in the morning. Whether it's either of those things or anything else, I know that you'll be okay. I think going to sixth form, it's like, it can feel like a big thing, but in the end you will get used to it. And if you are going back to sixth form, then I know you'll be okay. Because honestly, year 12 is really chill, and you'll get on with your friends a lot more than you may have done in year 11, because people seem to mature a bit going into sixth form, I found, as well. So it kind of changes the atmosphere, and people were more willing to get on with their work. And when you're in an environment like that, you will be more willing to get on with your work as well. Me saying that though, there were times where I didn't work at all, but then everyone has moments when they're like that. I hope, I'm sure. I know it wasn't just me. Let's have a look. Najib, thank you for asking how I'm doing. I'm doing great, thank you very much. How are you? How are you feeling going on to the next step of your journey, your educational journey, after GCSEs? Kana, you're doing English, Lit, History, Government and Politics. So that sounds pretty full on, but at the same time, a really, really interesting mix of subjects. Like, that's going to be stuff that will be really, really interesting to learn about. Also, as you may have seen just on the screen as well, before I forget to mention, tomorrow we are going to have Olivia take over live, as we love to say. And as well as that, it will just be like the usual back to school chat that we've been doing tonight. There'll be more games, not to mention the games that we'll be having tonight at 8:10. Stay with us for that. And also tonight we will be having a special guest. We'll be speaking to Holly. which will be interesting, and we have another video to show you very, very shortly. In fact, if we show you the video pretty much now, it will just be a little bit more of night before jitters, what's going on the night before people are going back to school, and we'll have some interesting information for those of you who are thinking about subjects all to do with GCSEs in year 11. So here is that video.
I actually have like 20,000 highlighters.
This is literally just half of it. I love these pens with like different colours on it. I go through these like crazy.
There's also got a pink
pastel colours one. I got a new pencil case.
This ruler, and I just like it because it's like a snappy one.
I love highlighters so much.
Love them so much.
A planner, and it's from Ryman.
I have this set.
If it's blue, I'm not having it. It's got to be black.
Open it and then there's like highlighters. Sticky notes, just the basics, cue cards, a folder.
Textiles is the only lesson I have on the first day back.
I'm kind of scared.
I am very prepared.
This is my alarm clock.
It's really big. It fits everything I need in there.
I don't think I'm going to take a 5 book cert. It's packed.
This takes a while. 6:15, which will wake me up really nicely. It's a really annoying beeping sound. That'd be fun.
There's a lot of pressure on year 11s, but hopefully it's nothing really new to the students. They have been preparing from this for this since year 9. The pressure goes up a little bit more, and the workload goes up, but not by a huge amount.
We use an idea called Jiffy, and the first part is J for jigsaw, and it's sort of fitting in the extract. Does it come from the beginning, the middle, or the end of the book? And then students can think about, okay, if it's from the beginning of the book, what might it lead to later?
I would advise that if they can, they should read ahead. I tend to put a lot of resources on Show My Homework. They should read around the subject a bit more. And yeah, read ahead so that when they come to the classroom, they're not lost.
There's quite a maths element in GCSE, which I think a lot of students don't necessarily think is going to be in the GCSE course.
There's one written homework every 2 weeks or so, and each week they also do some skills checks.
Okay.
So the pupils get a chance to practice a range of skills, and that's something we've been doing now to try and get revision as a habit really early.
I think having a strong set of revision skills, having practiced throughout your school career, so things like flashcards, building up your resources over time really helps, and making sure that you know what works best for you, because some things work best for others but not necessarily for you.
So it's better for you to go off and find your own sometimes. So homework will be maybe research, it might be go to a museum or a gallery, or go take your own photographs of whatever the theme is and so on like that. I'm always open, it depends on your teacher, but there's nowhere that says you have all got to do the same artist.
Oh, okay.
Types of business, that'll be the first subject that you cover in all GCSE. You are likely to find, very likely to find, all kinds of resources from, say, BBC Bite Size on types of businesses. There's a website called Tutor to You, and you will also find comprehensive introductory notes to GCSE business there.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Also, if you would like to see the videos that you have just seen sampled there, they are up on MSC's channel, so do check them out after the live. So coming up then, in about 15 minutes, we're going to be speaking to Holly, see how she is getting on this week and what's in store for her, how she's feeling. As well as that, we're going to be having games at 8:10, And I would also like to mention that we have Olivia sticking with us in her role with MSE through September and through her initial journey as she moves to London and begins at Performance College, which is so exciting. And she's going to be doing a live takeover tomorrow as well. So make sure you tune in for those. So just carry on chatting in the comments. I want to know how you're feeling and what you've been up to, whether you've started school again today or whether you're going back tomorrow or on Thursday, as a few people have said now as well. We have a lot of people talking about stationery then. I have to say I also did have the pastel highlighters because I'm extremely basic. I mean, a few people I know didn't even have pencil cases. By the end of sixth form, I don't even recall having a pencil case. Just stuck everything in my pockets. That's if you have a blazer though. I think it's a little bit more difficult if you don't have a blazer. I never wore mine, to be honest. I had a coat that I wore. They did not like that at all. Yeah, Alicia said I didn't have a blazer very long. Kana, what do you really do on the first day of sixth form? Obviously, it will be different for everyone, but most of the time you will just be introduced to your subjects or kind of where you're going to be. Here are the toilets, here's the common room, here, all that kind of thing. Showing you round again, because if you haven't been there before, they will show you around. If you have, it will just be a refresher. You probably do some team building as well, getting to know the people you're with. And yeah, it will just be introducing you to everything. And it might be the same information over and over again. And it can get overwhelming, but you just have to remember that you'll be fine. And after the first week, after the first couple of weeks, you will be completely settled in and you'll know what you're doing. And so the first day of sixth form is to really just to try and calm your nerves, get used to where you're going to be for the next couple of years, and yeah, getting into things. There'll probably be a lot of talk about the whole step up from GCSEs to sixth form, and that's kind of what put a lot of pressure on a lot of people in the first few weeks. But honestly, if you get through the first few weeks of sixth form, then you can get through the rest of it, because they are definitely the hardest few weeks. Joanna, I start back tomorrow and I'm kind of scared, not gonna lie, because I haven't got my timetable yet, so I don't know what teachers I have. Okay, so you're not going to find out until what your timetable is going to look like until tomorrow. Maybe just enjoy the time between now and then of not knowing and not having to know. And this is like the last night where it's kind of the final day of your summer. Try not to worry about your timetable too much until you've got it. And I remember actually at the start of sixth form, there was a bit of confusion because I'd been put in another class and I didn't want to be in it. And so all I had to do was ask, and they swapped me into another class. And honestly, I'm so glad that I did just ask, because it was a brilliant class in the end. Yeah, and so if you do have any worries or concerns about your timetable when you get it, just speak to someone. A lot of the time you can't change it, but you just never know if you can. So that's what I would suggest for tomorrow. And good luck for that anyways. I'm sure you'll be fine. What else? Still on the subject of stationery, I literally walk into class with 20 pens in my pencil case, and when people ask me for pens I say no because I never get them back. That's really true. And actually, if you want to do that, if they're biros, then you can either just get a Sharpie and like mark them so you know that they're yours. If they're highlighters, then again, get a Sharpie and just put a mark on the bottom, or get some Tipp-Ex and like put a mark on the bottom. So then when you give them out, and people are like, no, this is my pen, you're like, no, I'm pretty sure that's my pen. Because then, also, if you have a biro, a little bit like this, but it might be clear, like, fold up some paper. This is what one of my friends did. This is interesting. She, like, rolled up some paper around the ink, like, cartridge bit, then put the pen back together, so that if anyone was like, no, this is my pen, she could just be like, sorry, but I know that there's a bit of paper in there and it's mine. So it works. It honestly works. Unless you're the kind of person who just loses pens, because who I am. I'll just leave it on the desk and then just forget about it, come back, it'll be gone. Samantha, you start college next Monday, so that's really lucky. You get just the rest of the week and the weekend. Make the most of it, for sure. Just make the most of it. Go out for a meal maybe, just to celebrate the end of summer. Let me know if any of you have done that actually. Have you been out for a nice meal? I don't know. I enjoy doing that. Emily, am I the only one who broke their pen by pulling down all the colours at once? Yeah, that's true. The pens where you have all the different colours on, we all have one of them, I'm sure. I had one. I had many, actually. But I didn't necessarily break them, but we've all done the thing where you hold it like that and then you pull down all the colours just to see what happens. And we all know it's not going to work, but we do it anyway. It's a shame that you broke it, though. It's the sort of thing that I just would get for Christmas, and I'd be like, it's not very helpful now, but I'll be loving this in January when I go back to school. Alicia, we have our school pictures in March, and this is my first school photo in my school because you only get your picture taken year 7 and year 11, and I joined my school at the end of year 7. Ooh, so you get, that's school photos. Oh, see, usually at the time you hate them, but I recently went into my memory box, just delved into it. I hadn't even looked at my memory box ever. It's just it's been building up with stuff that I've been chucking in there, and I found this full school photo from when I was in year 8. It was like 2013 or something, and I was looking at it like I forgot I even bought this, and it's been in this box, and it's so nice to look back at. Like you'll probably hate your school photos, but then when you look back at them in a few years, it'll be really interesting to see them again, especially just the class ones. I have a lot of the class ones actually. I'm quite a sentimental person when it comes to class photos. I always bought them for the sake of it. And you have a special video when the whole year group stands for a picture and you walk... What? You walk towards the camera. That sounds like some sort of, I don't know, like movie scene. I've never heard of that one before. That's a new one. Like making a little video where you walk towards the camera. It's a bit out there. And lanyards are a big topic of conversation as well. I never had a lanyard. I'll probably be getting one soon. Exciting times. Yeah, because a lot of people for sixth form or college, they have a lanyard and you get like your picture put on it. And most of the time people don't like their photos for that either. Samantha, so you finish school at the same time as everyone else after June the 14th, but you're not sure why your college starts next week. Of course, but you're not complaining. I mean, who would? I wouldn't complain if my school started the week after. I mean, that's just another week where you can do what you like. Oh, this is a good one actually. Katie Bell, you said that you have the GCSE awards ceremony in December and for the A-levels. So yeah, that will be happening as well. I think most schools do it. I know that mine does, but when you've done your GCSEs, obviously it is a qualification, you get a certificate for it, and you will go back, if say you've left your school behind and you've gone to a new sixth form, you get to go back in December and kind of just, it's a night where you collect them, you see everyone again, you might have, I don't know, a snack or a drink there, and then everyone leaves. It's very strange. I mean, it wasn't too weird for me because I went on to the same school, but it was strange seeing everyone come back who had left. And I don't know what will happen with A-levels. I'm guessing it'll be the same. But yeah, you get to pick up your certificates, which because by that point you've kind of forgotten about your GCSEs and you've got on with other things. And then you get to revisit it, which is a bit of a weird one. Fguan says, I already have my student lanyard. There was a lot of perks with yours. I don't know what you mean by perks. Is that, do you get like access to places, or is that perks as in it just looks good? I don't know. I'm sure it looks great. So for a lot of students in the UK, you'll get discounted bus passes and all that sort of thing. I've seen you talking about that as well. Because obviously getting to college and sixth form can be completely different to getting to school. Maybe your parents won't be dropping you off anymore, if that's what happened, and so you have to find your own way to school, which could be another thing to get over, as well as obviously joining a new sixth form or college, having to get there on your own and come back on your own as well. That could be a thing that you're worrying about. But obviously everyone's going to be doing it, and they'll all be in the same boat. There'll be people to talk to, so you don't have to worry about that. We will be speaking to Holly in about 5 minutes, so maybe if you've got any questions on your mind, think about those and then you can get them into the comments. Just having a look at all the comments here. Yeah, so if you are going into sixth form as well, you're going to be almost hitting the age of 17 where you're going to be learning to drive. Maybe you'll be learning to drive, maybe you won't. It's different for everyone, but that is a very exciting thing that happens in sixth form as well. It is just so many different things happen in your life when you're going into college and sixth form at that age, rather than just being in secondary school. And as I said before, people mature, people change, but in my experience, everyone gets a lot closer, and yeah, people do change for the better, I'm sure. When you're in like the lower school, when you're in secondary school, and tensions are high during GCSEs, things may seem like nobody's getting on with each other. But as soon as you hit sixth form, maybe you'll make some new friends and you'll find new people, or the same people that you were feeling tensions with in year 11. It will be resolved. And Guan says, yours is in partnership with another college, which is awesome. And they have a self-service free ice cream tomorrow. So have fun with that. That sounds amazing. I would love some self-service free ice cream. When the word free is in front of any sort of food, that is just, I mean, that's the most exciting thing ever. Johnny Does Gaming. What is the actual differences between an A-level qualification versus a college degree qualification? So if you're asking sort of like the difference between A-levels and B-Techs, I think there's honestly, they're the same level of qualification, and unis will take people who have done either. So it doesn't change how you're going to be getting into uni or how you're going to be finding a job. The only difference is that A-levels, you're going to be doing 3 subjects. It will be in a school-like environment, whereas with college, you can do maybe just one thing that you're interested in, and your day might be slightly different. You might be doing different things. It may be more of a practical subject, and or you can also just decide to do an apprenticeship as well at the age of 16, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. You can do like college as well. But if you are interested in those sorts of questions, careers questions, things to do with college and that, obviously MSE have plenty of videos on that. So just scroll through and I'm sure you will find it. I'm just going to check with Holly now if she is ready to go in a couple minutes, because we will be speaking to her. If you have questions, get those in. And do stick with us, because we will be having games shortly after we have spoken to Holly. That will be happening in like 10 minutes. So honestly, stay with us and you may have the chance to win a prize. So let's just see then if we are ready to call in 1 minute. Okay, here we go. And I'll get it up. I'll get the stream up on here. Yep, so Holly says she's ready. Let's get YouTube up on here so I can see your comments at the same time, because that would be good. That would be very helpful. Here we go. Yeah, so Holly's going into year 11, I believe. Yep, she's going into year 11. She's going to be part of the back to school team. So let's ring her then and see how we're getting on. I'm going to turn the sound right up. That was very close to my face. And get the stand. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm good, yeah, good.
Cool.
Your day, but yeah.
Lovely. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to pop you on the stand. I'll make sure the brightness is up. And I'll turn my video off. We'll turn the phone round, face it towards the camera, and we'll get you on the live stream. So I'm just going to turn that off now. And then we can get chatting about school. Okay, so I'm just going to put the phone here. I just need to we're going to try and sort it out so it's okay for you guys, so you can see it. Here we go. Just bear with us as we try to do this. Get your questions in for Holly if you want to know what she's up to or has been up to. Yep, so it looks like we're all good. As long as you guys can see and hear her, that is all that's important. So, Holly, what have you been doing then in your final week of summer before this week of school starts again?
Surprisingly not much. I did a lot of stuff towards the beginning of the
Mhm.
holidays. I was just kind of getting ready really, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that. When summer begins, you're like, wow, it's summer, let's go out. You do everything. And then by the end of it, you're like, do you know what? I'm just going to sit and watch Netflix with my new packet of pens and notebook. I'm going to practice my signature or whatever because you're done. So, just let everyone know then, what GCSEs are you going to be doing this year?
I'm doing all of the normal ones, so
Mhm.
maths, science, English. I'm doing RE as well, our school does RE.
Yeah.
And then drama, music, French and history.
Cool. So, I did drama, history and RS as well. It's very similar. So then, when do you go back?
I went back today.
So you went back today, fab.
Yeah.
How was it? What was the first thing that you had to do when you got into school today?
So it was quite a busy day. When we first got in, we got our new ties.
Mhm.
It's actually here, yeah. Because
Oh,
basically when
cool.
you're in year 11, if you're prefect, you get a silver tie. And then if
Ooh.
you're not, you get a black tie. So
Yeah.
that was the first thing we did. And then we had like these workshop things after break.
Mhm.
Where we had a revision one, so they were like showing us a good way to revise. And we had science, maths and English like assembly thing. And then we did some team building exercises, so
Cool. Yeah. So a lot of people have actually been asking kind of what's the kind of thing you do on the first day back to school. And team building is always a big one, just to ease everyone in, right? Just to make everyone feel a little bit better about going into the year ahead. If anyone has any questions about those particular GCSEs that Holly's doing, she said all the normal ones, RE, history, drama, all those kind of things. If you have any questions about those, get them in the comments. So then, what is the thing that you're most excited for, and what's the thing you're most nervous for in year 11?
I'm quite excited because the rest of the school comes back tomorrow. It's quite
Mhm.
nice being the top of the school, I guess.
Yeah.
It's quite nice having that, but I am worried about GCSEs. That's just like the whole thing, really, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. The thought of actually, you've kind of been at school for so long now, and then it's all led up to this coming year, which is kind of crazy. But being the top of the school is honestly the best. Like, you feel like the most experienced person ever in the whole school, and hopefully people will respect you with your shiny new tie as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope. So, Alicia's asked, has anyone in the chat, so we'll apply this to you as well, who is going into year 11, started applying for sixth forms yet? Have you thought about what you possibly want to be doing after this year?
Yeah, I have actually. It was kind of something I was doing in the summer holidays when I had free time.
Yeah.
So I was looking at some performing arts colleges to do musical theatre, because that's what I really want to do, so...
Yeah. Oh, well, that would be good then, because obviously Olivia taking us through the autumn, and yeah, that would be good to see then, especially for you. Katie Bell has asked, are you doing triple science or combined science?
So I only actually found out today that I'm doing triple science.
Oh.
It was, a bit of a... Yeah, we got our timetables, and that was the way we just found out, because I realised that I was in the same class as some of these people, and then we worked out that we were doing triple science.
Oh.
So it's a big year because we've got a lot to do.
Yeah, that is interesting actually, just like finding out on your own, like not being told, just having to work it out yourself. Wow, okay, that's crazy. So you're doing triple, that's good. And I literally had a question mark. Yeah, so you have your timetable then. What is the best day of your week, do you think?
Probably Friday.
Mhm.
I mean, not just because it is a Friday, but I've got PE periods 5 and 6, so they're the last 2 periods of the day, which is actually really nice.
Oh.
I get to end the week just doing PE, so...
Yeah, I would love that. That would be great. Just, you'd feel like your week was done before the PE lesson. And then, because obviously you can just like get changed, and yeah, that sounds great. I'd love to have PE on the last slot of Friday. A good way to start the weekend. Ashling has asked, what's the difference between triple and combined science? Obviously, triple is just you do all of the sciences and the higher papers as well, and then...
like 3... it's like an extra... I heard someone say it's like an extra GCSE or something.
Yeah, so like even if you do combined science, you'll still do the 3 subjects, but it will amount to 2 GCSEs rather than 3, and it will just be not as intense, I think, as triple science. But either way, you do science, you do all the sciences either way. Musical Garcia also has PE on a Friday. There we go. It's a good day for it. We've got a question from Holly Bennett. What's your favourite subject?
Drama. I couldn't pick between drama and music because they're both really good.
Yeah.
So because they're just, I mean, out of all of the subjects I do, they're the most practical.
Yeah.
And I just like them the most as well. I just have the most fun doing them.
Exactly. Yeah, drama and music. They're hands-on, but they're where you can be creative, I guess. And for creative people, then they're going to be the best subjects for you, because not everyone's going to absolutely adore maths, are they? I mean, I'm not sure many people will. Anyone else here doing music? Let us know. And Katie Bell wants to know what your least favourite subject is.
I probably would say maths. I mean, I think it's mainly because I find it the most challenging.
Yeah.
And it's just so much content, I think, that it's just so many different things you have to memorise, and it just gets really frustrating when it's hard, because some of the questions, it's just working your way around them, and it's just,
Yeah, that's true. I think with maths, it takes probably the most revision out of anything, just because you have to keep practicing questions, and every single question is different. You can't like learn a format because they're all going to be so different. Okay, so we'll move on probably just to the last question now, because obviously we have games lined up for you in the next 2 minutes. So the last question for you, Holly, is from Musical Garcia. Do you prefer the composing or performing part of GCSE music?
Definitely performing, definitely. I like composing. It's just I don't have an actual proper instrument because I do singing, so that's my performance, and that's what I really love. But for the composing, I do a bit of piano, so that's what I do, but I just find it quite hard, and performing is just something I much prefer, so...
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you're headed in the whole performance college direction, which is good. It's good that you have an idea of that. So I think that's pretty much it. We're going to get on to games now. So Holly, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with just the rest of the week, and obviously the rest of the year as well. Good luck with your GCSEs and all your exams. Yeah. So thank you for joining us, and we'll say goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Cool. So I'm just going to remove the phone now. There we go. Lovely. So that's Holly for you. And year 11 is a big year to be going into, as I have said many times tonight, if you've been watching. But honestly, everyone gets through it. And if you are going into year 11 and you're feeling the pressures of the exams, just have Holly's positive attitude towards it, because I feel like she sounded very positive about it, very chilled out and ready for the year. So I think we should all take a leaf out of Holly's book. Here we go then. So it is 8:10, as promised. We will be beginning the games. I'm going to get the wheel and then I will explain to you what tonight's game is going to be all about. It's going to be themed as usual, and it will be an apt theme for this week. So here we go then. The concept of the games here at MSc, if you're not familiar with them, what will be happening tonight is you will see an enlarged photo of a back to school essential. So it will be zoomed in and it will come up on your screen. You'll have to guess what it is as quickly as you can. If you get the correct answer, and you're one of the first 2 people in the comments to get that correct answer, I will put your name down here next to a number. It will correlate with a number on the spinning wheel, and once I've spun the wheel at the end of the game, if it lands on your number, then you have won, and once that happens I will let you know what to do from there. So just again quickly, you'll see a zoomed in image of a back to school essential, and just honestly get your answer in as quick as you can on what you think it is. I'm just going to switch onto this phone as well so I can make sure that the comments are coming in at the same time as they are on this one. So we are going to have a practice as well for those of you who still might not be too sure on the premise of the game. So here is the first one then. This is the first zoomed in item, and yeah, this is a back to school essential, but what is it exactly? Yeah, so keep getting your comments in, keep guessing. If you think you're wrong, put it down anyway and then give another guess in. And because this one is back to school essentials, I will be giving the benefit of the doubt if I know that you've got it correct. Here we go. So we have a lot of answers in now, so you're all pretty certain on what it is. The answer to that one was protractor. I'll turn that down. The answer to that one was protractor. So well done to those of you who got that correct. I would say that it looks as though the first 2 people to get that right would have been Holly and Musical Garcia. I know Holly put protracted, but it's going to be a tough week for a lot of you, and I don't want to be too mean to you guys. So yeah, I knew that it meant protractor. Here we go then. So we're going to move on to the first back to school essential. What is this zoomed in item? Here we go. Just going to get the comments up on here as well. There we go. Keep getting those answers in, and as quickly as you can as well. Can see lots of answers coming in. That's good. Okay. Keep getting them in, guys, because if you think it's something that a lot of people haven't said, you could actually be correct, so you don't know. I have seen 2 correct answers then, so I'm going to reveal what it was. So the answer to that one was Bunsen burner. It was like the little bit at the bottom of the chimney, and can I open it and close it? So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Bunsen burners. Anyway, the first person to get that right then, I'm gonna give it to Holly Bennett. Although again there was a typo, I'm feeling so nice tonight. Like, I'm gonna give it to you because I know exactly what you meant, and I feel like it would be a little bit harsh of me not to give that to Holly. So Holly, you got that one correct first, so you are officially on the wheel. And then the second person to get that right was Amar. So well done to Amar. You guys are both on the wheel, and well done to everyone else who got that right as well. We're going to move on to the next one then. Here it is. This is another back to school essential. This one might be quite specific, I don't know. We would like kind of the specifics of it. If you think it is something, maybe give us the specific of what it is. Here we go. Yeah, this one was a little bit more tricky. Definitely a back to school essential for most of the GCSE students, and for those of you who've been through your GCSEs, I'm sure you're familiar with this one. So I'll give the answer. We are looking for specifics. However, I think we've definitely had a few people now saying the correct answer. So the first person to get that one correct, I just want to add the answer to that one was actually the Of Mice and Men front cover of the book. And I'm sure a lot of you, now that you know what it is, recognise it and think, yeah, I had that book and I had to annotate it. So the first person to get that one right was Amar, so well done to Amar. You were on the wheel for a second time already. And the second person to get that one right, I believe, was Shark Mo. You put Of Mice and Men, so well done to both of you for getting that one so quickly. And we will move straight on to the next back to school essential. So here it is. This one is a little bit more difficult because I was looking at it for so long, and it was really confusing me. But honestly, once I knew what it was, I thought, yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Keep getting your answers in. This one really is a back to school essential. Especially for GCSE students. You've got to have this. And although I'm feeling nice, I can't accept answers such as maths thingy. I'm gonna draw the line at that, I reckon. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, because you guys are so smart. I forget this all the time. You guys are so good at these games by now. But we have had so many correct answers. So the answer to that one was compass. When I saw this, I thought it meant compass as in like the direction compass, but no, it's the maths compass. So well done to everyone who got that one right. That honestly was so impressive. The first answer that we had from Musical Garcia was the correct answer. So well done to you. You will be on the wheel. And then the next person to get that one right was Katie Bell. So well done to you two. And that was one of those things that before the maths GCSE exam, everyone's running around trying to find one. Everyone's like, does anyone have a compass? Because people would forget things like rulers, calculators for their maths exam. My friend took his A-level mock exam without a calculator and still did better than me. So that was a bit, yeah. I wasn't too happy about that one. But anyway, here we go. Let's move on to the next back to school essential. What is this? This one is properly zoomed in. Yeah, this one is properly zoomed in. And if you want to maybe not go with the flow, go with like a different answer that loads of people aren't saying, then do it, because you could be right and they could all be wrong. Who knows? What is it? Keep your guesses coming in. Have not yet seen a correct answer, so keep them coming in, guys. What could it possibly be? Here we go. Yeah, I think I'm seeing a few more correct answers. So you're going to scroll to see who got there first. So then, the answer to that one was actually paintbrush. Now, on seeing this, like, I would have thought it was a pencil as well, to be honest. Like, with the metal bit at the end, with the rubber. And this one was a bit of a cheeky one, because it was actually the metal at the opposite end of a paintbrush. So the first person to get that one right, I believe, was Daniel. So you will be on the wheel. Congratulations. And the second person then to get paintbrush was Katie Bell. And this is your second time as well tonight on the wheel. So well done to you. The more times you get on there, the more of a chance you have at winning. So keep getting your answers in as quickly as you can. Even if you think it's wrong, keep on guessing. You don't have a limited amount of guesses, you can keep on typing. Okay, so we have three more to go. Let's see then. What is this back to school essential? This one's a hard one as well. It is very zoomed in, and I didn't get this one either. But then I seem to be not as good as any of you out there, because you will get this straight away. I don't think I've seen the right answer. So keep getting them in. This one, like, think a bit outside the box, you know. A little bit like, because it's not always stationary. So just have a think about what it could be, because it is a back to school essential, again, especially for GCSE students. Yeah, it's not always stationary. And it might not always be something that you bring from home. And yet it is still an essential, definitely an essential actually. Keep getting your answers in. I've not yet seen the correct answer at all. This is definitely a difficult one. And I'm trying to see how the picture actually makes that. We may have to start giving some clues. I mean, I've given you a couple clues anyway. It's not, we can agree it's not stationary, and you won't be bringing this in from home necessarily. You might, if you have some. Okay, so the answer, if any of you remember the answer to number 1, you may be using these while you're using that. Here we go. So we haven't had many answers. The answer to number 1, I'll remind you, was Bunsen burner. So, if you're using a Bunsen burner, this is an essential. I think we're getting on the right track. Still don't think I've seen the right answer though. It is difficult, this one. Just go through your head everything that you would need while you're using a Bunsen burner. It's a safety thing, I'd say. Okay. It seems that we are now on the right track. Everyone's kind of caught on. All of a sudden it's clicked and we know the answer. So, I can reveal that the answer to that one was safety goggles / lab specs. The glasses you wear on your face to protect your eyes. And because I had glasses, I always had to wear the really, really big ones, which was a pain. Anyway, so the first person then to get that one right in the comments was Alicia Anderson. So well done to you. That was honestly a really difficult one, only because it was zoomed in so much. And then shortly after was Shark Mo. Again, you are on the wheel again. We have 2 more to go. Let me have a look. These ones may be a little bit more easier. Let's take a look. Here is the penultimate piece of essential, back to school essential. And we're looking for specifics here as well. Here we go. Keep your guesses coming in. It's something that Holly's probably going to be using on Friday afternoon. Here we go. So I've seen 2 of the correct answer now, so I will reveal what it was. That one was a lot easier than the last one. So the answer to that one was netball. Could have mistaken it for a rugby ball, definitely. But that was a netball, and the first person to get the netball correct was Emily Bridge, so well done. I saw earlier that your aim was to win one of these games this year. So who knows, it could be tonight. I don't know. And the next person to get netball was Daniel again. So I'll put your name down here. I'm not saying the second name because I don't want to say it completely wrong and just absolutely murder your second name. So Daniel, you're on here for a second time. And we have 1 back to school essential left. So let's have a look. This is your last chance to get on the wheel for a chance to win a prize. So here we go, as quick as you can. What is this? Few mixed answers, I can see. Few mixed answers. Everyone seems to be agreeing on the same answer. Okay, that one was actually very quickly answered by all of you. So the comments have slowed down. We're pretty certain we know what it is. The answer to that one then was Tipp-Ex. You can kind of tell just by like the white, I don't know. And so the first person to get that right was Alicia Anderson. So well done to you. You're on here again, and The next person to get it right after Alicia was Aisling. So well done, Aisling. Aisling Duffy. There we go. So I will read out the names and which number they're next to, just so you know who has won once I've spun the wheel, and so you know that I'm not cheating. Here we go. So, number 1, Holly Bennett. Number 2, Amar. Number 3, Amar. Number 4, Shark Mo. Number 5, Musical Garcia. Number 6, Katie Bell. Number 7, Daniel. Number 8, Katie Bell. Number 9, Alicia Anderson. Number 10, Shark Mo. Number 11, Emily Bridge. 12, Daniel. That is Daniel Alizadeh. Just as clarification. They both Daniels are. 13, Alicia Anderson again, and then 14, Aisling Duffy. So, I'm going to spin the wheel now. Go, make sure it's spin properly. Okay, here we go. Who's going to win? I don't know. Number 8, so that is Katie Bell. Well done, Katie. So what you need to do now is head on over to our Instagram at My Student Events. Send us a DM just to clarify that it's you and you've won, and we can let you know what to do from there to claim your Amazon voucher. So that is the end of tonight's Back to School Live. I just want to say good luck to everyone, whether you've started today, yesterday, tomorrow, Thursday, or if you start next week. I just want to wish you all good luck, and I do hope that you guys have a good time wherever you are. And if you need any support or you're interested in any of the videos that you've seen tonight, they're all on the MSE channel. And don't forget that Olivia will be doing a live takeover tomorrow, and you don't want to miss that. So thank you guys for joining me, and that is it. Bye.